So hi everyone and welcome back. Now, a little bit of a rant today. I was sent some videos of a rapid unscheduled wheel disassembly. I believe there was a crit race, I think it's Singapore, it may even be China, kind of town centre crit, where a rider has hit something, had a bit of an issue with the front wheel, and normally, you'd pull over, you'd be able to pull over at the side of the road. However, this front wheel has completely disassembled itself through a loss of spoke tension, and I've said this in so many wheel review videos, this is because there's no redundancy built into this kind of hub design. So what do I mean by that? Well, the culprit here, I'm pretty sure, 99% sure, is the side entry straight pull spoke system and no mechanical locking between the spokes and the hub under detensioning. So what's happened? The rider's obviously hit something with the front wheel, maybe the tyres come off, a couple of spokes have detensioned, and then once spokes detention, it's very hard to kind of model and predict what's going to happen to the wheel, because a wheel is statically indeterminate. It depends on the stiffness and the section properties of the things around it in the structure, so the rim stiffness and the other spoke stiffnesses. But more often than not, some loads go up in other spokes and some come down. When those detention spokes leave the wheel, more detensioning happens, and if there's nothing locking those side entry straight pull spokes to the hub is going to stay attached to the bike, and the wheel is just going to roll off into the distance, and you're going to be on the deck risking severe injury, possibly death. And I feel quite passionate about this. This is something I've mentioned so many times in all my wheel reviews. You've seen the slide before where I mentioned redundancy. This is something that could be so easily mitigated, designed out. Whoever's designed these side entry systems, I think they're dangerous. There's no redundancy there. You're leaving yourself open to massive risk. Simple mechanical cap, a little bolted flange, so that when all the spokes were detensioned, they were still connected to the rim. This is the most important thing. You need to have the spokes connected to the rim under full loss of tension. So take a normal straight pull DT Swiss hub. The straight pull spokes go through a through hole. If that spoke is completely loose, it's still in the hole, it's captive, it cannot come out. So even if you get rapid detensioning of all the spokes because you've damaged the rim, let's say dented the rim, compressed the rim, broken the rim, you are still connected to the tyre or still connected to the rim, so you can probably, hopefully, come to a stop safely without risking your face in the tarmac. And this really needs to be avoided. Without going into the nitty gritty, whoever's designed these hubs, and I'm not just picking on Winspace here, this is present in loads of other hubs, it's present in bloody Mavic hubs, for God's sakes. If you look at some Mavic hubs, straight pull spokes actually top load into some of the flanges, and they can come out after rapid detensioning. And I'm not saying this caused the crash, this is an effect caused by the crash, but it's made the results of the crash for the rider a lot worse. I think it's something that could be designed out pretty easily, like I said, just with either a through hole for the straight pull spoke so it can't come out, it can just rattle around but it won't come out, you'll still be connected, or just a cap, and I've mentioned this in videos before. It doesn't happen often, and often, the spoke heads are quite hard interference to fit in their seats, so they don't pop out even if there's no tension on them, but it really is not nice. Let's take a look at this old wheel set I found in my mate's bike room. These caps are there for a reason. It's got a side pull spoke, fine, the machine has come in and machined the pocket from the side, okay. Let's do design for manufacture. It might be easier to machine the spoke hole from the side or the entry system from the side rather than having holes all the way around it in a tangential fashion, which is quite hard to make, like this DT240 is quite hard to make. But put a cap on it. If just a simple lightweight cap stops this redundancy problem, it keeps the spokes in the hub in the event of complete detensioning, and that is way safer than just having them open. Okay, on this, on the rear wheel, on that side, you've got the cassette butted up, so you can use that as the cap. But on this side, if you look here at my mate's Bicycle Cave, he's got some, I think, Campagnolo Scirocco wheels. There's a cap after the side entry pockets have been machined. There's a cap to stop them coming out. On the other side, there's the cassette, which stops the spokes leaving that side. So you need to think about these things, not just in use, but under detensioning, the spokes have to remain attached to the rim. Otherwise, it's just catastrophic. I'll just reiterate, I don't think this has caused the crash. I think it's a result of the crash, but it's made the results and the injuries a lot worse. I don't know yet how badly the rider was injured. I hope he's okay or she's okay. And this is not just Winspace. This is a lot of Chinese hub manufacturers doing this. And I think they really need to think about the FMEA, the effects analysis of the failure, is the severe thing here. Anyway, rant over. Just wanted to get it out there. And I'll continue to mention this in all my wheel review videos until someone tries to mitigate it, because it just doesn't need to be there. A simple solution to this is out there. If you do have to machine it with side entry pockets for the spokes, just put a cap on it. So under tension they can just rattle around, but they don't fall out. They have to not fall out. This is the key thing. So yeah, some more free engineering consulting from me sat in bed. I'm not going to say cheers, but I'll see you in the next one.